I really didn't care, just too angry. Hello, you're watching A New Way of Being, hosted by Avatar Galextra on Facebook Live. I have to do this show over because I became too angry and have to do it in order so that I can get my information across. Family and I have been put through a great deal of hell, especially me. I've been tormented and tortured as well as our daughter by anybody and everybody practically that this Mr. Trump could use to terrorize my family. My daughter was unfairly treated. It was said publicly. I do not want to say it as what she has been put through is terrorizing. She's been taken advantage of by Mr. Trump and Mr. Trudeau. Mr. Trump do the bigger end of the hell that he put through our daughter. I was tormented and tortured. See these lines? This is what Mr. Trump used that way because of the degrading things that they want people to, that are not true. Robbed of their rights to look in the manner in which they normally would. They're being tormented and tortured, sorry, the Caucasian nationality and the Caucasian European nationality. They have been doing damage to people like us, to people with like Oriental people, other nationalities, Hispanic, and part Hispanic, part African. They do that to other nationalities that aren't Caucasian European. And some Caucasian European people are now feeling some bad treatment. My skin looked really good. My eyes, my ears, everything was in great order. My family, my daughter is beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And what they did to her was her body. She's a beautiful young lady, but yet every time an African person, their reasoning is that being African, I don't have feelings. I don't care. They don't realize that older or younger, these are human beings with feelings and caring about each other. They do not hate other people. They would never hate anyone unless people were doing damage to them. And many times it's not necessarily hate, it's just a strong anger from the abuses that they're receiving. Nancy Pelosi is responsible for what Mr. Trump is doing publicly. They gave him that presidency and the technology. And with the two, he used it to destroy anybody and everybody. And I could not get any help from any society, any system down. Everywhere I went, my husband was treated like the charm. I was treated like the bad person. And think that they can now destroy people like me for being the kind of person that I am. I've never harmed anyone. Right now, I'm being attacked in the womb by Mr. Trump with that technology. And not too long, and all yesterday, same problem. And he used to do it every day, 24/7. I'll sit down and he was attacking me in the womb. He is the person who created the problem for me in the rectum. Heavy stuff inside of my body, massive, made it bigger and bigger so that it was forcing its way in my. He also made sure that he used my husband to block my way when we were walking to go home with the groceries and in the background with guns and fighting and abusing and beating people up. He brought them here inside of this home, as well as Mr. Trudeau, I believe, because Mr. Trudeau was laughing like nobody's business when I rang and went through the television to see to look for to look at certain shows and found Mr. Trudeau was there and other people were there standing around or sitting around. I can't remember. But I believe Mr. Trump was also there, and he was laughing. Did damage to my daughter and me and my husband, and now going to ridiculing us for what they did to us and how they made people look at us and the kind of hell that we've gone through because of what they've set up for us wherever we went, whatever motel we had to go to, whatever room we rented, we were terrorized. We could not turn to get help. It's only recently I started speaking to the people that own the place to find out why is this happening. And so far, they haven't been able to tell us anything. And my husband isn't too happy when I'm ringing to find out about what is happening to me and why they're attacking me and abusing my body. And this is something that should not be done. We haven't done anything to them. I haven't done anything to them. The only thing is I turned them down for sex because I'm not here to play sex games. I love people with all my heart and soul. I want to speak to them. I want to treat them well, and I do so. But the things that I get coming back to me is not proper treatment. It's not respect. It's all about what they know and what they think they know. They don't know a thing about me. All they know to do is terrorize because other friends of theirs who say, I love you, is treating you that way and using African people to abuse African people themselves as Caucasian European people. Not all of them. There are some beautiful human beings that I have met out there that are Caucasian and some are Europeans or Caucasian Europeans because that's how they were. They were Caucasians before and then called themselves Europeans, and so they're Caucasian Europeans. But the point is that we have been terrorized by these people. And we are being terrorized because these people are using other nationalities to do that. Places you work, and so I had to stop working. And then the government wants to tell us that if that we should stay home because the coronavirus is going on. The government made up the coronavirus. Billions of people. They said that there were too many people in the society years ago, and that's in the United States, and that it's time for some of the people to be removed because and so I'm sorry.
30%, 1/3 of the population is supposed to die because of bladder cancer staying all these people.
Yes, he was just telling me too. One third of the population of the people. They said they are servants of the people, and they suddenly can't do their job. They can move out of the rights and the lives of other people, children. They would not be raping women. They would not be raping men. That came from the deformity of men thinking that it's all about them, and that they own and control the women when the women are the ones who gave them their lives long before they were men. They were hermaphrodites. One side of their body had the male aspect and the other side had the female aspect. Just the private areas, that's about it. The rest of them was all women, and they were called hermaphrodites. And they would, when they wanted to have children, they would impregnate themselves. But after a period of time, they decided they wanted to have a different aspect of female anatomy. Females, their children. That's what the hermaphrodites were, African women. And they created, they were female gods, and they created that for themselves because they wanted to have a variety of quality, not people. Why are you allowing people to terrorize you without telling the whole world? Let the people know what's going on so that we can all make changes to upgrade and make sure that you all are treated with respect and dignity. It's your right. It's your natural born right to be treated as people with respect and dignity so that you can help your whole society to feel comfortable enough to be able to, when they see each other in public, nobody's harassing and terrorizing anyone. Why would mothers and fathers teach their children to go and fight with other kids outside? Because they're not trained to recognize that that's not the way to go. If you care about your manner in which they're supposed to be treated by others, respectfully, responsibly, so that everyone feels like and recognize that they're a family. When we're all treating the people with the kind of respect that they have a right to, and persecuting and terrorizing human beings for whatever they decide that they should do, or the person doesn't look good at this time because they've gone conflicted. You don't turn conflictions into more conflictions, and every man must side with each other, not to persecute or fight with them, but more or less tell them in a way in which they recognize that you don't do that to anyone. That's your family, no matter who they're born from. You're a human. You're painting their faces while they're sleeping, pretending to be good friends. Stop interfering in the life. They were born to be free and treated with respect, and you won't have the kind of insanity that is destroying everybody. Think before you act. Recognize if someone isn't dressed properly, it's not because they're a bad person, but because they do not have much to put on. So they have to wear what they have. If you really care about them, and then go and let them know honestly, with respect, and let them know you love them because they're your family. It doesn't mean that you're going to rape them. Loving them means that you're genuine, you're caring, you're respectful, and you want to see this lovely family all together working as in unity with each other. You can't work in unity if you're insulting and degrading anybody, because all beings have the potential to be their greatest selves. They're gods. They're being trained to be the kind of gods that they were born to be. They were born from gods. So being born from gods, when you come into the society, you don't turn into a catastrophe. You start respecting everybody because they are your family. It's a family of gods, of which I am the mother of. So I can get angry if I want because of what you all have done to me. The tyranny you have forced upon me and my family that you tampered with in the past and in the present or even in the future. But you created that problem for them with your so-called superiority. That complex created the hell for everybody, including me. Stop the evil. Recognize that this is what will happen when you treat people in this manner. When you persecute people to that degree, they either want to kill or they're going to shout at you because they want their feelings to be understood, that you've harmed them with this behavior. So stop blaming them for what you have set up for them, and stop setting up other people to continue the tyranny, because what you're doing is destroying your whole society, including yourselves. Because what you put out there or help to put out there is what's going to come to you after a period of time. Start thinking in terms of the rights of all beings because they're your family. Stop mistreating your family. You destroy their rights to feel free and happy. They become the tyranny like you are doing to them, and even get worse, because it does feed into all kinds of evils. Not everybody turns that far, but there are those who do. You don't want to treat people in this manner. Just as Trump is using that machine to loosen my body so that he can have my body flap when I walk in the streets. That's the kind of maniac that this man is. And the American government and Canadian government has been behaving like. Mr. Trudeau and Nancy Pelosi and Mr. Trump all through. It's everybody. I have a right to what I'm asking for, ladies and gentlemen. You don't know, you did not live my life, and my family has lived the life that we have lived, that I have lived. They know what they went through, but nothing like mine, nothing like our daughters. She was terrorized, and she took it as humiliation. Does not want us to speak about it, and I'm not going to tell anybody anymore, but there are those who are aware of it. This kind of tyranny must stop, ladies and gentlemen. Remember how you would like to be treated. You know, many people are being God. Why would I want to rape my family? You all are my family. You all are the people that I want to make sure get to know yourselves. One is potentially as great because they can get to their greater selves. It's just something that is deterring them: persecution, humiliation, degradation, and stupefied by government once. That's wrong. A government that is doing that to the people, you should not allow to control you. They don't have a right to controls, because to use the kind of tyranny, I'm being attacked right close to the room in the butt. I've joined as a group to terrorize and kill people. This is the man that is getting away with murder the lives of everybody.
And he claims he hasn't lost the election, he won't leave the White House.
Yes, you heard that? This is what my husband was saying. Honey, could you say what you were saying?
The man
Louder.
claims that he hasn't.
The election that the presidency, not because he earned it, but because of the fact that they wanted him to do all kinds of bad things for them, including terrorizing people like us. So I advise that you start looking at things from, there are a lot of so-called nice people coming from, that was coming from CNN, that was coming to play games with my husband and act as if they can steal my husband while they set up the mail, speak to them. And I'm speaking to them out of friendship. They think I'm interested in them. I never showed any, give them any reason to think that I'm interested in them in a way in which undermines my family or myself. I don't play those little children and think that I would be someone who would do so. You're sadly mistaken, because that's not me. I could never do something like that to a child. I had children of my own, and I protected my children all through their lives, make sure that they weren't being taken advantage of by anybody. But yet they were taken advantage of when I left, and they were old enough to be by themselves in their homes and found themselves being abused. Starting with Mr. Trump and all the people he brings out here unseen to terrorize me in the bathroom, while they force all kinds of stuff inside of my body with that technology and pushed it so hard into my rectum. The only thing I can do to protect myself was scream. If I didn't scream, I would have been dead because of what they were doing. I couldn't sit on the toilet. I couldn't stand up. I had to go by the bathroom, use hot water, as hot as possible, to try to help me to feel less pain. And it was too hot, so I had to bring down the heat. I went through a great deal of hell, ladies and gentlemen. And there are a lot of people going through this. Please don't mistreat them. Please treat them with care. Be respectful. Be responsible. And if you have a husband or a wife behaving in this manner, help them out. They are going through hell in order for them to behave in such a manner. This family is going through hell. I'm showing the worst of it because I've been put through the worst of it by everybody, except my little princess over there. A fantastic human being that Mr. Trump turned this way, gained her extreme weight. And now she's body-wise, face-wise, she still is beautiful. She just have to lose the weight. I would advise that you stop pussy. I would advise that you took the time to recognize when someone is in a way in which they normally would not be. It's not necessarily their fault. Stop blaming them for things that other people are doing to them in the background. Look what was done to my teeth. See? I want you to see. I'm not ashamed of it, because that's not the way African people are ugly. He was jealous when he saw me from the beginning. So he spent his time attacking me in every part of my body, from the head to the toes, for decades, in the United States and now in Canada. Mr. Trudeau is using him to help to destroy me, thinking that he's doing the right thing because Trump to kill masses of my family. This is what Mr. Trump and Mr. Trudeau, so they're hanging on each other. And if one of us had done any of that, just one person, or put in jail, and we stay there for the rest of our lives. That's what they're doing to African people in the United States and possibly in Canada. The Canadian government is following the American government. They're trying to make sure that they do what man, using Trump to kill me, using that technology, thinking that they're superior beings. The problem is they misunderstood their worth and put everybody below them, when those below them are the ones who gave them their lives. We are not below you. We are above you. Because if we were below you, you would have been massively killed. We are above you, despite the fact that you set up all kinds of beings to terrorize people of color. We have been terrorized. I'm sorry, mate, what? All nationalities were born from the African race. They were given birth and allowed the freedom to go and travel to different lands after a period of time when they wanted to see the world. And that's how they became people born in different nationalities in different parts of the world. You are not given this kind of information because those who are of Caucasian European race that are controlling things don't want you to know. And if for those who don't know, we are the firstborn. We brought ourselves into existence and gave you birth. So please be very careful in how you're treating our family. Our family are all nationalities. We love all of you alone. It's about those who gave you your lives and those who are living with you, those who love you, and the whole world that would. That's what you were born to be, not what you have become. Show the world that you care about them, and you are going to see the great family that you never even understood existed all along as your mothers and fathers, because they are that love too. Not mistreat the ones who gave birth to you, but upgrade them if you feel that they need upgrading. Use the intelligence that you have and recognize that if you don't work together, you're going to die together, because people who do not want to do the right thing destroy the ones who they are scared of, prejudiced of, and decide that they don't want anybody looking better than they do. So they want to kill you out. So start thinking and dignity that all beings were born to be, not what they have become. It's not their true selves. The true selves are those people who show you their love and support always without harm. That's a true someone with their true self, using their abilities and their love to share with you because you're a part of the family and deserve to be treated responsibly and respectfully. Animals should be treated responsibly and respectfully too. They are a family also. They're a different kind, but they're still our family, and they should be treated with responsibility, respect, because they will protect you in no time flat. That's the way they are too. You see, we are gods who created quality, not deformities. When you went into wrong behaviors, you started creating deformities within the society. They don't need that for their lives. They need quality. It's what helps them to show their best selves. It helps them to be their best selves. You won't need all kinds of plagues coming along to destroy you, because when you're practicing the right kind of thinking and behavior, there will be no plagues. There will be no diseases. There will be no hell. There will be no evil. I would advise that if you want people like me to treat each other properly, start doing the right thing. Start treating each other as if they are your brother and sister, because each of us together now and forever. Whatever harm is done to one ruins you, me, and everyone, or say, or the cost in human lives every day. It's everyone's business to get involved and solve every problem whenever they can. Once we stop working to find solutions, we start becoming part of the problems, plaguing every nation. Trash. On that note, we were born to be, rather than people who turn on other people and think they're being smart when they're doing it in a nice way. And you're children of God's. It's time for you to get up and do the right thing. Stop behaving like a problem to yourself and the people. They need you, and you need them. We all do. That's how we live, by using our best selves to connect with each other instead of being. Remember, I'm not here to hate, but I'm certainly, and I know that you can be the kind of lucky beings if you want to be. Just start by a little bit. People trying to kill, they're natural born killers. controlling your own family, yourself, and showing others, not forcing them, showing them how they can be their best selves because it's within them, in every single being that was born in this world, even animals. Please treat them respectfully. They don't hurt anybody. Don't train them to hate and to hurt. Train them to be loving. You will see that happening everywhere. Have a great day, a great life, all of your life.
City. Stream.